What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. I am Dom with the great man Sauce. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. We've got a special pod for you today. Saucy, who have we got?
We have Trent from Cardlab. He does repacks of, NBA, UFC. I'm not sure if he has had an NFL repack. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Maybe there's one to come. Not yet. I sound by the sounds of it after the weekend. You're talking about Pokemon's big after the hobby hangout. I might have to do a Pokemon repack. I don't know. I'm sure if you've thought of that, put that one into the works. But introduce yourself, Trent. Obviously, who you are, like, other than your name, and I've said it 3 times already. And where you from?
No worries. Hey guys, Trent here, Cardlab, obviously formerly Melbourne Cardsmiths. Got back into to the hobby in 2017, 2018, like a lot of people did. Right at a good time there. Started watching basketball heavily again, and thought, geez, I wonder if cards are still a thing. Went online, found a couple of boxes of Prism Hobby from DA Card World. Busted them open, a couple of silvers, got a gold prism, and that was it. I was hooked. So
you started collected when you were younger, Trent?
Yeah, man. I was a big NBA fan in the 90s. Michael Jordan, the Bulls era, that really had me in. I was a big 90s kid. I had all the jerseys, man. Barkley, Michael Jordan, Shaq jerseys. They used to actually make them with big holes in them. So because I lived in the tropics, I used to run around sunburn all the time with like little dots all over my whole body, because I used to just rock the old Charles Barkley Suns jersey or the Jordan jersey everywhere. So, but yeah, big fan. Used to play, like a scene out of the original Space Jam, where Michael Jordan's a kid and he's playing on the dirt. Like, that was my setup at home. Had the basketball ring in outside, playing on the dirt as a kid. So yeah, loved it, man.
Nice. You spoke about it. You got back into 2018, and like, let me just say, that was absolutely golden. Luka rookie year. So yeah, you couldn't have picked a better year to start getting involved. You bought those few boxes, and where did it go?
I want to know the price first and foremost.
Yeah, what was the price?
I want to know how much. If you don't mind us asking, how much did you pay for the boxes?
So Prism Hobby 2018 was about $350 AUD landed. So and yeah, look, I used to buy mixes, man. So I'd buy 2 boxes of Prism Hobby, 2 boxes of Optic Hobby, 2 boxes of Crown Royale. Just mix it up. But Prism was king, and I just always kept going back, and every month I'd buy a couple of boxes. There was plenty of it around. Like, it wasn't scarce at all. You could just go online, and they didn't have sales, and sometimes you could get it for as cheap as like $220, $250 AUD a box when they were selling it. At one stage,
it didn't sell out. It sat on the site as well.
Yeah, it sat there. It was there forever. You couldn't get it here anywhere. I think Grayson sold out of his allocation pretty quickly. But they had a lot of retail Prism around, the green retail boxes, which were going for like $70 or $80 at the market. So I actually used to go and buy off Jules from EJ Cards at the Caribbean markets every Sunday. Go and buy blasters or retail boxes, or the cello boxes of Prism, and yeah, just used to sit around and bust them because they were so cheap. It was it was nothing really when you were paying that sort of money, and yeah, glued on to the PSA grading at that point. It hadn't blown up then either. You could do bulk services there for $12 USD a card. So that was a bit of fun, because you used to be able to 10x your value of your cards, and they were throwing 10s around like there was no tomorrow. I mean, you probably used to get about 70-80% 10 rate on your submissions when you send them in. So you send 200 cards and you get 150 back 10s. It was a good time. It was a very good time. I actually prefer that time when cards weren't worth as much, because you could actually buy boxes, to now when they're worth a little bit more, but the box prices are ridiculous. So
you can't be going buying cases and cracking cases of basketball product and expect to come out in front anymore, can you, Trent? Too often.
No.
Well, you might. I'm not saying you won't, but at an occasion you will. But
yeah. So look, I learned that the hard way last year. So Select always being a hobby product. I love Select. I loved it until they ruined it last year with the retail stuff. So I went and bought a case of Select, paid a premium, thought, you know what, this is going to be beautiful, whatever. Anyway, found out really quickly that it's the sort of the game was done. The serial numbered cards, the coloured prisms, and all of that. Yeah, very, very scarce in the hobby boxes from last year. So look, I haven't bought one this year, so I dare say it's going to be even more scarce trying to hit or trying to find gold or trying to find any colour. And yeah, I learned the hard way, man. I think the ROI in that case was probably 10% or 5%, maybe. It was a disaster. So,
well, it's great. It's actually it's bad on your front, and like I feel for you on that as well. But it's actually good to hear a story like that from you, Trent, because when like yourself, you might be explaining that to people, or we explain that to people on our podcast, and when we see them, they think that that's a warped reality. Like we have the warped reality of what the actual case is when it comes to sports cards, and more often than not, the story is a 5 to 10% return on their investment. That is it. And as Saucy said, you might hit the case hit, and it's a massive card, and you might either make money on your investment or break even. But even still, sometimes you might hit that case hit and still lose.
Could be an average player.
On the case. Yeah.
Not many collectors of that player,
Exactly. And I mean, look, I know repacks cop a lot. Repacks cop a lot of shit, and there's been a lot of rubbish repacks around the place, and a lot of disgruntled people when they don't hit and whatever. But at the end of the day, now, like, the return on most repacks you get is probably double, if not triple, quadruple that you get in a hobby box, and you're paying a fraction of the price. So. I mean, what I actually like to try and do is, at least if it's a low value card, make it a rookie or a decent prospect that has room to sort of grow. So if you do get a $50 card or something, it could turn into $100, $150, $200 card at the end of the day. So I mean, look, not all the prospects turn out, but some of them do. I mean, look at Cameron Thomas. One of my last sets that I put out had about 7 Cam Thomas RPAs in it that I got for a fantastic rate. He dropped 40 in 3 games simultaneously, and his RPAs went from like $150 to like $750. Some of them, National Treasures, 1-1, decent RPAs. And then I was lucky. I was sitting on one. He was a good player, and put them in. So people are getting massive ROIs. So prior to that, they weren't worth much. So we try to there's a little bit of method to the madness. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you're not always going to hit, but yeah, we try to make it fun, try to make it a bit more interesting. It's a lot more fun, I guess, in ripping base cards now. I think people are sort of done with that whole thing, and base cards are literally worth nothing now. There's so many of them. I think people are using them for kindling and just rubbish. Every time I buy a card now on eBay, it comes with about 40 base cards as protection. I actually got up a bloke the other night. I got a card on my Ship My Cards account, and it had about 40 base cards with it. Ship My Cards charged me like the $5 rate for the lot. And I messaged this guy. I'm like, why would you send me 40 base cards? I said, just put them in the recycling bin. What am I going to do with 40 base cards? And he come back to me. He's like, oh, sorry, it's just for extra protection. But no one really wants it anymore, man.
You got to make sure you message Ship My Cards and tell them I don't want the base cards, and they take.
I do, yeah.
You get deducted the $5. You don't want to pay $5 for the trash.
Exactly. You have to lodge a request to dispose of them, man. So, and then they give you your money back, which is good of them to do that. But look, what we're finding is people love it. They love a little bit of mystery, and they love the fact that the hit rate and the strike rate's much better with the product we're putting out there than what they're getting with hobby boxes. Because a lot of the guys will come in, they'll be like, man, I've been buying hobby boxes forever now. I'm getting nothing. I'm buying your repacks, and I'm loving it. I'm getting RPAs. I'm getting the good cards that I want. It's a good little formula that we put into it. Our case hit odds are like 1 in 5 boxes. So it's a pretty good sort of little setup that we've got going. So I mean, look, we've been working on it now for about 12 months, man, and it's sort of every set we learn something, we take feedback on. We sort of listen to what people want and what the market wants. Watching the games, making sure we're putting the hot players in and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's been a bit of fun, man. It's good to do this now as a job as opposed to working the old 9 to 5. So
It's good. It's great that
Nice,
you've
mate.
turned that into your primary source of income and you're enjoying it. It's something you love. So that's the main thing. Like, and repacks in itself, like, what made you want to go down that path? Was it because of the box price? I know we're speaking a lot about that, but it's just, or is it because you just wanted to give opportunity to people?
Yeah, well, look at when I was in lockdown. I mean, because I got onto PSA grading early in the piece, I've graded thousands of cards myself through PSA just over the course since 2018. I had a whole safe just full of cards, and at that time, I mean, the graded cards were all they're all average value, probably $200 or something. And I mean, I had hundreds of them, so I had too much stuff there. So in lockdown, when everyone got really bored and the hobby started to boom. That was when I first put out a couple of sets, got a few boxes made, and put out a couple of sets of mainly graded cards and whatnot. And that's basically how I got into it. Just in that lockdown period where there was a lot of time spent at home, couldn't do anything, and yeah, I just needed to come up with something to keep myself occupied. And that happened to be it. I had such a surplus of cards. I was like a lot of guys, I just sit on eBay, just scouring eBay all night, buying cards, searching for bargains and that I can buy raw and then grade them, and it just worked out. It just worked out well. So
Got the bid sniper? You use a bid sniper?
no, I'll stay away from all that stuff, man. I'd like to have an even or level playing field. So no, I never use any of that shit. So.
I just got to ask. Got to ask. It's a ploy, If you can't be on eBay all the time, and if you sit there for half an hour and put your max bid, and it bids that max bid in the last 2 seconds or 3 seconds of the auction, so it's
all right,
not a bad.
I hadn't heard of that.
It's not a bad little ploy. So it's like, look, I want to pay maximum $350 something for this card, and it won't bid that on until the last bit of the last 3 seconds. So
all right.
if it
maybe
wins,
maybe you
doesn't
can,
win.
unless you want to tell the viewers all about it, mate, you can message me later and tell me what it is, because I'll probably do it. So I like to get all the cards on auction from the US. They all the Josh Giddies sell for a premium in Australia, man. It's like double the US comps. So I've got to buy them from the US and import them all, just to be able to put them in all the sets. So.
Yeah, he's a popular player here. A lot of Josh Giddy collectors. I think there would have been probably a few card collectors that went to his event when he came down here. I was lucky enough to be able to attend. He spoke very well, so I'm not surprised he's got a heavy collector base.
My kids went. They got a few of their cards signed and got them authenticated by PSA. PSA declined 2 of them though. They reckon they couldn't authenticate the autos. Even if I supplied a video of him doing it with the kids there, they said they still wouldn't authenticate them. So that was a bit.
You're not the only one that's happened to, Trent. Yep. We know someone else that happened to them as well, and they supplied evidence that obviously he signed the card, and they're like, "No, it's insufficient."
And the worst part is it was a numbered card, and in the photo you can see the numbered card.
Yeah,
and they still knocked it back.
Yeah, it's a shame, because I had the 2 really nice cards that the kids got autoed. They declined them, and then the 2 like random ass cards they gave them. They graded the autos 8s, but they authenticated them. So it was a bit painful, because I was actually paid a lot for it too. It was like $100 US a card or something stupid.
Bloody hell.
So there was a fail. It was a failure on my part. I wasn't happy. I'm like, look, I've been grading with you guys for years. Can you do me something? But no, they weren't interested, man. They're too big now. They're grading 1 million cards a month. If you check the stats, the last couple of months have graded over 1 million cards each month. So they're big business now, mate. They really wouldn't care about the average Joe Blow like you and me. So.
Oh, we know that, mate. We know that.
We know that. Yeah, we know.
We've had back and forth with someone, quite high up at PSA. So look.
Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. You going to elaborate on that, or have you done that in other shows?
Oh, no. Look, people know that they won't come on our show just because I don't think they would find our questioning very, pro
Fair.
their business. Pro their business.
Well,
So
it'd be fair, but just not pro their business. So yeah. Anyway, we have mentioned it on the show, Trent. We have, but Nat doesn't want to come on the show, and he's made that pretty clear to us, and that's fine. So
yeah.
So I don't know if that filters down to everyone that's at Collectors or part of Collectors Universe, because I know we've had back and forth with his good buddy Ken Golden as well. And,
have you had old Kenny?
So old Kenny would be nice to have on, but he probably won't come on either. So he took a bit of offense to some advice I gave him.
He's got 5 acres on a golf course. Why does he need us?
Anyway, it is what it is. All right. I want to show the people that are watching this. Unfortunately, if you're listening to this, you're not going to be able to view it, but definitely head over to our YouTube so you can see it. But obviously your website.
Yep.
Here it is, your repacks.
Yep.
First and foremost, some of the best looking repack artwork in the game. As you can see over here, the people that are viewing, you got UFC, NBA, you got some instant hits of the Star Wars. I just wanted you to do a bit of you got the opportunity here, like you can do a bit of a run through and stuff as well. So
thanks, man.
You got the instant hits.
Yep.
So we can run through them so you can give a bit of an insight into this stuff and the value that the clients that you have now, and hopefully you can get some more jumping on board after this pod as well. So we had a mate that opened up one of your repacks at the Hobby Hangout and he hit the Ja Morant. I'm pretty sure.
No, wrong. Not his repack. Different.
Shit. Sorry.
Different.
Fuck.
But still,
sorry, Trent.
Hit a Ja Morant auto out of the
anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, no, someone else came up running over and said that someone hit a Ja Morant auto. I said, well, I don't know what Ja Morant gold auto that I didn't have one in those boxes, but anyway, so a bit of confusion. But look, man, those instant hits that you can see there, they were sort of born as like our retail box to to sell to the general marketplace. If you go in there, you've got obviously the NBA, Star Wars, and UFC options, as you said. We've got a break live option now too, so a lot of people love to jump on the live, rip a box or rip a pack. We've got mystery packs as well, which you can find in there. So NBA mystery packs, got one here. Nice little cheapies there. Everyone loves the cheapies, so put a few really nice chasers in there. We had a LaMelo courtside silver, which would have probably got a PSA 10. I was going to send that off. That'll be a massive card. If someone grades that and gets that, that's probably a $2,000 card. Scotty Barnes auto, Josh Giddey RPA, beautiful little chasers for a $30 pack. A lot of prisms, autos, and whatnot in those. So good little value. We love ripping those live too. If people want us to bust their boxes. But basically, the mystery packs, instant hits came about as a retail box. The other boxes we did, which if you just go into the collections, go into the collections and go to Black Box, mate, up the top. Those were basically designed as a breakers product originally. So, some fantastic cards there and chasers and whatnot. But they're more designed to go to the breakers. So we've actually been selling more of those boxes subsequently than what the breakers have been busting lately. So the popularity of them is growing quite a lot. But yeah, so the coloured box series were originally just dish them out to the breakers. They'll case break them. They'll chuck them in their breaks. The typical sort of repack, like I don't want to name drop now, but like our competition over in the US used to do, but used to do it a bit averagely. So we decided to still step it up a little bit. We got a tiered approach as well. So coloured tiers. We've got your black up the top, your white underneath that. Then we've got our sort of our cheaper sets, which we put out in bulk, like our our purple, our blue, and maroon series. Our red boxes and green boxes we do sort of as like a every now and then. Our black boxes they're premium. They're like a set of 10. Have just this quick little 10 set. We put generally a big Kobe auto or a Luka Doncic auto or something in there as a big chaser. You got Zion in there signing as well, Jar. So
Sounds like
big
you've
chase.
catered something for everyone, mate. You've got
something
the
for
high chase and the middle lower end, which is good.
Yeah,
I mean, people. There doesn't matter whoever does the repack. There will always be people that complain, about repacks and their makeup. But I've stuck up for repacks in the past. There's some other people that do it really, really well. Look, the ones that do it well, especially the ones that are happy to sort of bring out the full print release or what you're sort of up for. In a sense, or what could potentially be in the set. You got to also, if there are other ones where, I've seen other ones where it's like, this is the total run. These are the main chase cards. But it might be like a cheaper sort of, a cheaper entry point. So, what you're sort of getting back, say if it's only, like $59 for it, but, you could potentially hit a $1,500 auto in there. Obviously there's going to be certain packs where you're just not going to get the value back, and it's no different to opening a box. But then there's going to be some other, packs where you're going to get the value back, and there's going to be those super packs where you're going to get a ridiculous, value compared to what you've actually paid for the pack. So there's many different makeups that people sort of go with. And then, obviously you've catered to, to most, people. There's an option for most people, which is good.
There's worldwide shipping as well, so you're not just beholden here in Australia. As Trent said, he's got the live stream openings here. This is one that we'll touch on in a sec. So obviously the UFC instant hits, which you mentioned before, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
I did want to touch on that because you do have the UFC zipper on jumper. So you must be a huge UFC fan, which is good. We cover it on our show. Saucy's massive on it. I saw you in person at the Hobby Hangout, and I'm going to make an assumption. I don't like to make assumptions, but I'm assuming you do some mixed martial arts. Am I correct?
Yeah, certainly do, mate. I love it. I don't know. I must have a bit of Viking in the blood, because all I want to do is, go out and fight and the other F word and, go and pillage villages and all the rest of it.
That's why he's got to get into the gym, mate. Take out some anger.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. That's all I can put it down to. But look, it's just the most entertaining sport. You got to take your hat off to Dana. I know he's always in the news for the wrong reasons, but man, he's made a good business out of this. I love it. Like I can't get enough of it. If there's there's not much more I can get excited about than a massive fight card, man. Let's just put it that way. That's probably right up there in terms for me for like highlights of the year. Like this weekend just gone, it's a bit disappointing. Valentina losing and John Jones winning so easily. But man, I mean, just the excitement and the build up to that. It's unbelievable, man. I love it. It's fantastic. So
that's awesome. We definitely will get into that a bit later. But at the moment, this instant product you've got here, obviously, we've got our boy here, Alexander the Great.
I've got that card.
Do you actually, Sauce?
Yep, I do. I possess that card.
That's good. That's good.
We tried to get everyone.
Even needs another one.
We tried to get everyone in there. Couldn't get Connor for obvious reasons. I mean, look, he hasn't signed recently, but his autos would have just blown the price out of the water. But managed to get majority of like the main hot, I guess you would say, sort of collectible fighters at the moment. So most of the top 10 in that. I mean, Volk, we're lucky his cards are still at a good price. So. We can pick those up. We managed to get Paddy the Baddies. First.
What about Sugar Sean? Like, don't you think it's a bit like his cards sell pretty hot, don't they?
Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, he's Cam's out. I mean, like he hasn't done much, and his cards are just through the roof, man.
There's
unbelievable.
For people that are watching, there's a Flux order up the top here.
Yeah, Flux Auto Cam's at base, and that was probably the most expensive, man, even against the National Treasures RPAs and stuff. So Well, not RPA, just patch autos. Yeah. So.
No, very nice. And then the
Nice
last
hits in
one
there.
is there's nothing in here on it, but
Star
the
Wars,
Star Wars instant hits. So
we've
why
we've
Star
gone
Wars?
out. We've gone out, man. We're out of stock on those. I've got 300 cards coming back from PSA next week, so we're gonna have a 6 set of Star Wars out next week. People that are watching, but why Star Wars? Because I love Star Wars, man. Star Wars as a kid was just everything. All right, I had the Millennium Falcon, had the Lego, had all that shit, and now Mandalorian's coming out. You got Obi-Wan coming out. Got all these cool shows coming out. Apart from a little bit of the wokeness and that's driving the diehard fans crazy and causing all this contention online and shit. It's it's so good, man. It's just like it's like Pokemon, Star Wars. They're never going to die, these brands, and because Topps refractors and Star Wars cards are so cool and they're affordable.
They do look amazing.
They are incredible. Good. Like the relics you can get from movie sets, from costumes. The like they do like a medallion cards as well that have ship medallions in them. They're unbelievable and they're cheap. And you know what the best thing about it is, man, you can from like a $250 box of Star Wars, you can actually hit like 1-of-1 refractors that are worth like $5-6 grand US. My mate hit not long ago on the page I posted it, Mandalorian 1-of-1 out of Topps Finest, and he sold it to 26 Collectibles, the big collectible dude over in the States who just hit that LeBron exquisite patch auto, rookie patch auto.
Yep.
I sold it to him for big price tag. So I won't say how much, but it was a lot of money, man. And that come out of a $250 box. So if you name me out of $1,000 hobby box NBA card that you can hit a $5 grand card, I don't know if you can anymore.
No, I can't. So. No, I like it. It's just something a bit different on the site, and we'll give it one last view, and then we'll give it a view again.
Yeah, there's a box there.
But here it is. That's the instant hits of the Star Wars. This is what all the package design looks like. It's card-lab.com.au. Obviously, we'll give it another plug at the end of the show, but it was good. Thanks, Trent, for actually giving us a bit of a run through there. And
find the link in the description anyway, ladies.
Yeah, we will. We'll post the link as well, which is awesome. But just back onto the Star Wars, like I reckon that's something a bit different. The same with the UFC, it's a bit different, and that's what we like. A lot of people see conventional repacks, and it's always based around basketball. But having those other two is something that differentiates you in the market. I love Star Wars too, personally. My dad's a massive sci-fi nut, so I grew up watching all of them since I was a kid. And even I've become a fanboy when episode 1, 2, and 3 come out, and I've gone, mate, nothing compares to the 4, 5, and 6, the original. And that was done, whatever it was, 30 years prior. And I'm like, nothing holds up to these. So they are epic. I'm the same as you. I watched The Mandalorian. I love it. It's something different. And I love how they are expanding it. And like you did say, there are some things that do get on my nerves like it would for you, but that's stuff that we have to deal with in this day and age, I guess. So we're just going to put up with it. Hopefully
cancel
it does
culture,
change.
mate.
If we say something, we will get cancelled, even that, probably for the better. They could take our advice on board and make a better product. But anyway, it's awesome. The UFC, do you collect a specific fighter? Just back onto that.
Look, I love Valentina actually, and I love Volkanovski. So I mean, look, I get behind all the Aussie sports stars. So Josh Giddey, Ben Simmons, I was a big fan, which is obviously quite embarrassing for me now because the guy's completely destroyed his his legacy and everything, and completely destroyed his his sort of how he presents himself to the Australians, and it's not good.
Doesn't have too many fans down here, does he? There's not many people when you speak to him at collectors at shows and that they're not fond of him. They are not fond of him.
No, not at all. But look, I don't have many cards. I've got a Valentina order. I've got a nice National Treasures Volkanovski. patch auto. But all my money, my real passion for collecting just goes into NBA cards. So I mean, it's primarily NBA for me. But no, I love watching the sport. UFC is just it's just pure, it's just sheer entertainment, man. It's I love it. So
Takes balls to get into that octagon. Tell you that.
Now I was listening to a podcast, a Joe Rogan podcast, and it was with Derek Wolfe, who used to play football, NFL football for the Denver Broncos, and he was talking about some just crazy shit that he used to like get his aggression out like in fighting, and his coaches wanted him to get into fighting as in college, and he was like, no, I'm going down the football path. And the same thing, he's got the Viking blood, mate, and he had a rough upbringing, and he used to channel all of that on the field. And he was saying that it just crazy shit. He microdosed on like mushrooms and took Adderall before every game. Yeah. And he was just like, and then channeled all these, just everything that he went through as a guy. And he was just a nutcase. He won a Super Bowl source. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in his position. Yeah. But he was talking about the fact that a lot of these guys, because they're so big and strong, it's because they're playing football because of the purse. He was saying that if the purse in the UFC, just imagine, was matching that of the NFL, just imagine some of the units that would come into that sport and fight. Just athletic, massive, powerful. Like he said, it'd bring a new era of the sport in an instant.
It's lacking, yeah. Look, it is lacking. They cop a lot for their fighter payouts, but look, I do look at the fighter payouts after each fight, and they are increasing. I mean, look, Volk netted over $1 million from his fight with Islam. Even some of the women's fighting, you know, they're netting some serious dollars as well. So I mean, look, it's not anywhere near boxing money. It's not near basketball money, NFL money, soccer money, anything like that at all. It's pocket change compared to that. But look, I don't know how they're going to do it. They do seem to be charging more for the subscription for the main events. I don't know how he's going to manage to do it, but he's copping a lot. So I imagine that he's probably going to be left with no choice but to raise fighter pay in that in the next year or two, try and keep him. I mean, you saw Ngannou walk away. I reckon Ngannou's got, you know, fight in the works with Tyson Fury. He'll probably fight him once or twice and then disappear into the Nigerian jungle and live out his days, because he'll be a multi-millionaire. You know what I mean? Just after one fight. So
legit.
You know, it's a tough one, man. But for what it is, and you know how they still attract the talented fighters, and that it's still fantastic. It's just that one area they've got to try and work on, I guess, to come up with how they're going to get enough revenue to sort of pay them a bit more to keep those guys fighting. So
100%.
You probably make like 20 million a fight in Ngannou, easy.
But he'd get that probably for his first Tyson fight, I reckon. Tyson Fury would net some stupid amount. Ngannou would get probably 20% of whatever he makes, but he wouldn't care because it's going to be, you know, a million times more than what he'd ever make in his whole career in the UFC. So,
and he'll make a shit ton off the pay-per-view sales because everyone wants to see Tyson Fury fight him.
There's no one left for Tyson to fight, so you know you got to take
too busy.
Ngannou, biggest beast on earth. You know,
I know he's just too good, Fury. He's the best heavyweight boxer of our generation. Like, well, this time, bar probably Tyson if you were around in the same lifetime. So it's pretty impressive. On to NBA.
Yep.
You don't collect the UFC cards, but you got a few of them. But basketball, you said you had a huge passion for it. We want to know who's your boys.
Do you have a team
in the NBA? Yeah, a team that you follow, your boys that you collect, any prospects.
Okay, yeah. Well, look, I did. I mean, like I said, I was a massive Ben fan, so I was on the Sixers there for a while now. But it's hard to stick with the team with your stars and jumping around so much. So I mean, look, Australian, NRL wise and whatnot, I've supported the same team for life. It was just how it was. But basketball's a bit different. I'm not one of these blokes that gets on the bandwagon and jumps team to team. But look, I just love watching particular teams. So at the moment, I'll try and watch Grizzlies games, try and watch OKC games. I love Shea, I love Giddy. I love the young teams actually, with the young boys. The Magic, Pistons. Where they have young, flashy players and that. So yeah, and obviously Luka, man, I have to watch the Dallas games. So Luka will probably love Dallas just being the place that it is as well in Texas. Probably God's country there. Can't go wrong with a Texan team. But yeah, got a few nice Lukas, a few nice Giddies, a couple of nice Tatums still. But yeah, I'd probably, if I'd say anyone, I'd probably say maybe Boston and Dallas fan now. No, not 100%, but I still.
You would have got a fair few Lukas out of that cracking that 2018 Prism.
I didn't, man. I had no luck with Lukas at all. I bought so many boxes. I had to actually buy all my Lucas Silvers and Luka numbered cards. I never hit any. I hit in my first box of 2018 Prism. I hit a Michael Porter Jr. Silver Prism and a Red Prism of $2.99. And I looked him up straight away. Kid was out with a back injury, and I just sold him for nothing, for peanuts. And subsequently, he come good, and he skyrocketed there for a bit. My second box, I actually got Jaren Jackson Jr. Gold Prism of 10, and graded it with cherry. I've still got that one, hung on to that. So I came back True Gem from BGS. Beautiful, beautiful card. That was what got me hooked, really, is just hitting the Gold Prism. And just having this, shiny, beautiful thing there was just, serial numbered. It was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Compared to all the 90s shit cards that I used to collect, the Upper Deck ones. And
hooked you in, that shine, the sparkle.
Just every month then I was just blowing cash on Prism Hobby, Prism Retail down at the thing. Me and my mate would go down and buy a bunch of blasters and whatnot. He's a big collector. He loves his wrestling cards. That's one of our next products too. We're going to jump into wrestling. Wrestling's big.
Pretty cool.
Lots of wrestling sales at the moment online and in groups and that. My mate's telling me, he said it's moving better than the NBA. So we're going to jump into to wrestling, get some mystery packs going and some instant hits going for wrestling. Probably a bit of AFL too. Being Melbourne based, we can't leave AFL out of the mix. A bit of soccer. We're going to do jerseys as well. So just put our first big order in with Fanatics. So we'll have some jerseys arriving next week, and we're going to implement memorabilia into the business and into the boxes as well. So
very nice,
pretty cool, mate. Pretty nice.
Nice little blueprint there, Saucy. Getting me excited. He said the key word there, soccer. So I enjoy that. I like to see that it's on the cards.
World game.
World game. The memes on there as well. So
we'll be coming and getting your advice, boys, on purchasing.
Just Ronaldo. That's all you need. Just him.
Of course, you would say that, mate. If he puts too many Ronaldos in there, I don't think anyone's going to be able to afford the repack, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You put all Al Nassr Ronaldo autos in there when they come out. That's what you have to do. Him and his
I know you boys were big on F1 too, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the old F1 and UFC, and that's all come down, flying down, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, the funny thing with the F1 was it was never meant to be up there for long, and that was the thing that we explained from the beginning, and that's a sport in itself that when Topps Chrome 2020 came out, that is the product for F1. That and 2020 Dynasty, like they were the products for F1. And it's all well and good because, it's the first time we got cards of some of those young drivers. And the thing we said was like, it's a buy because it's the first product that's come out. These new drivers, they got their first cards in there. Yeah, they don't have a rookie stamp on it, but it's actually their first card ever made. The rookies were a great class of rookie as well to choose from. And then we said to them, like, any product that comes out after this is just going to be rubbish because F1 is one of those sports, like, and as you know, sports, Yes, correct. Everyone's so heavily dependent on rookie classes in every sport. And with F1, you might get one or two. And they're going to go to a low-level team or a mid-tier team. They're not going to do very well.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time they don't. And then people are off of them. And the products have just gone down the toilet. I saw Topps Chrome at the Hobby Hangout and for 600 or 600, 550.
Yeah, people, the new product, people were trying to sell the boxes for around 450 to 500. I seen them.
There you go. And then Topps Chrome 2020, I'll be honest with you, I sold one for someone for 1,800 Australian, and they got up to as high as 3,500 Australian.
Yeah.
At one stage. So it was one of those things, and we tried to explain that to people, and a lot of people gave us flack and said, you pumped F1. And I said, no, we pumped a product of F1. We didn't pump the sport. Like, there's two different things.
And that's you getting the old Gary V heat, are you?
We copped it from Card Porn. Card Porn, we didn't. Yeah, so
we got more influence than bloody Nat Turner here at Double Coverage, all right, mate. So we pump up any market you want to, yeah.
You're not the only one, mate. I copped it from Card Porn one day. I just randomly put a reel up of cracking a Zion silver PSA 9 just to send in to Beckett to see if it would go to 9.5, and just woke up one morning, this video was up and tagged me, and there was like hundreds of comments and people abusing me in the comments for cracking this card. And it was.
Well, I hope the person that is Card Porn is watching this, because he may or may not be in our country, and I hope he watches this in full. And just remember that Trent is of Viking blood. He's a mixed martial artist. So
watch out, mate. Tell you what, if you don't get to the Hobby Hangout, it's too dangerous for you now, Card Porn.
Exactly right. If you don't like us as Double Coverage, now you see the type of people that we're mates with. All right, so we've got connections here. So
we're starting a conglomerate, mate. We're a coalition against copping unwanted attention on social media.
It's going to be the WWE faction. We're going to be WCW. We just come into the hobby and just call shit like back in the 90s. That's what we're doing. So
you got to cause a bit of controversy, mate, these days. So.
Oh, man,
it's not hard to. It's not hard to.
It's not hard. No,
it's not at all. No. You just say something ridiculous or pump up something that's crazy. Anyway, it is what it is. The hobby is fun, though, and it was good to see you, obviously, at the Hobby Hangout, and be very keen to get just your experience.
Is the first one you've set up at? Is that right, Trent?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we've had a couple of trial runs at different little events. We did Summer Jam, which is in Pran.
Tell us about that as well.
Yeah, that was cool. Such a cool competition, outdoor basketball, street ball. Very, very, small little compact setting, which was good. A lot of traffic coming past. No one was expecting basketball cards there. We didn't sell much, I think, because we had like boxes and boxes of cards there for kids. They were going through them all, just taking all these free cards. So we didn't sell anything, but we gave away about 7,000 base cards to the kids. Had a fantastic day on the last day there. We got a couple of VIP passes, went up to the top, had a bar up there, music pumping, watch basketball, looking down. It was really cool day. Very thankful to the guys there, Daniel, Tess, and I can't remember the other fella's name. I'll come to me for inviting us there. We also did Sneakerland at the convention center a couple of months ago too. So sneaker culture sort of. It sort of worked its way into collectibles and cards a little bit there. So they were keen to get us there, and we went there and did a little bit. But Hobby Hangout was our first big show. So we weren't. I've been there before, so I sort of knew what to expect, but I didn't know how well we would go. We actually went really, 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 really well. Sort of surpassed any expectations. People were busting boxes on the desk with us. They were taking them away. We're getting messages all night saying, I've got great hits, fantastic, love this. I was buying cards off people as well, did a few deals. Next time I'll put a sign up and, try and pinch some of the people that are selling to Cherry.
I was doing that. I seen people
walking.
walking around with their case. I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? What's in the case? You want to trade anything? You selling anything? And I'll just get them to open their case there and there and just see what, if I can make any deals.
I bought about $5,000 worth of cards off people. So, I mean, look, it wasn't a huge buying day, but, we bought a bit. I like the cyclical nature of it. You put the cards in a repack, the guys hit them. They come back around, they sell them to you or sell them to someone else. You put them in the thing, you repack, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. And look, we've got a lot of really cool guys that we deal with now, and girls actually, that just come to us and offload all their cards when they get too many, or they want to go and invest in something else. So we've built fantastic relationships. We built some relationships on the weekend even with really big players in the card market who were very impressed with what we did. A couple of stores as well hit us up for supply. We do supply vending machines, cardboard vending machines, which you'll find in most of the
major. I've seen your product in there. Yep.
Victorian shopping centres now. They were our first really big customer that decided to take on our product, which was we have nothing but love for those guys. They're such lovely people, Chris and Steph, that run the vending machines. So we've got a great relationship with them. We're pumping out products like you wouldn't believe for those guys. Got approached by a couple of other people on the weekend that were interested in what we could offer them. Just overall had a lot of really, really good feedback. I mean, for the nature of what we do, I can count the complaints on one hand, man, that we've had in about 12 months. So I mean, look, it's been nothing but fantastic feedback, been nothing but love. I actually really like meeting all the dudes that follow on Instagram. I can't remember their names. I don't remember their Instagram handles. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm such and such. I'm like, yeah, what's your Instagram handle, man? I don't know who you are. Like, just
that happens to me too.
That happens all the time. That happens all the time.
But look, it's so good just to mingle and meet people. I've made relationships just with people, like Alvaro from Fast Break Trading Cards. He's a fantastic guy as well. Just very accommodating, very lovely. I had a lot of questions for him about the card shows because he's been doing them for a while, and advice with dealing with different things. He was always happy to help. He's always helped me. So got a great relationship with him. Jono from Melbourne Breaks as well. Lovely bloke. What he doesn't buy, he refers to his players to sell to me as well. So we've got a good relationship there with Jono. Obviously the Primo guys, they buy fantastic. Buy huge amounts of stock of ours. They absolutely love it. As opposed to the competitors from the US, which they were buying beforehand. So. If you are listening and you are buying stuff from the US, I can tell you right now, I'm doing it better than them, probably cheaper than them as well, a lot easier and to deal with, and all the rest of the guys. So if you're interested and you're listening, then surely just hit the DMs, hit us up. We love to look after the Aussies and like to promote within. We've got a lot of following online. We've got almost 5,500 organic followers. That's been built up over the years, over the last 5-6 years online. In our groups, we've got several. I think we've got over 2,000 people just in our Facebook group as well. So whatever people buy off us, we're always pumping out, sharing the love. Promoting their businesses as well. So a lot of cross promotion there. We love to just make these relationships. So I love to make relationships with people, meet people. Very easy going. I'm from I'm from Darwin. I'm from a country area. Everyone's very friendly. We get along with everyone.
That's what it's about, mate.
Just here to have fun, man. Have fun, and hopefully, hopefully everyone is enjoying what we're doing, and we can keep doing it for a little bit longer.
No, I like that. I absolutely love it. And it is all about the relationships and the people that you meet. And you know what? They help not only your business, but, they help you grow as a person. You're building relationships with these people all the time and you're getting to know them. And some people you get to know a lot better than others. But, these people are all fantastic. And, we've all got our quirks, mate. And, we're all different. But we come together under one common ground, and that's either sports cards or any trading card, and that's something that we've got in common, and we can always talk about, and makes someone feel comfortable, and they open up in that space, and that's the sick thing about it. So that's what we love out of it, especially like us ourselves doing this podcast, and the same thing with, as you said, Trent, like they come up to us and they're like, oh, I'm so-and-so. And it's like, I have no idea who you are. It's like, oh yeah, but I'm so-and-so on Instagram. Like now I know who you are.
Well, they'll tell us their YouTube name or something like that,
So it's funny. And you got people that'll be committed to your product forever as a loyal person. You have people that buy in once or twice and drop in and drop off. And, we're the same. We've got people that are regulars and have been regulars for 2 years with our show, and so consistent. They'll message us every day, every second day, or you hear from them at least once a week. And, it makes it so much more enjoyable. So kudos to you, mate. You're doing a great thing with the product at the moment, and we're looking forward to it developing.
And we wouldn't promote a product that wouldn't be worth promoting on this show as well, Trent.
You would never do that, mate. No, you wouldn't.
Because we don't want to lead our loyal listeners down the wrong path. But Trent does have a good product, and there's always going to be some discrepancies in some repacks. That's just the nature of the game. But in my opinion, you have a very, very good repack, good quality repack, and a lot of thought goes into it. And you release what you can hit in the repacks, which is, there's many repacks that don't even tell you what you could potentially hit. And that's
that's the other thing. We listen to the guys there, man. We made sure that we did full transparency. We're not just showing 6 cards. We showed 25 to 30 cards in the graphic, and then we put the full list of cards just so you can see what you're in for. You can see the floor, you can see the ceiling, all the rest of it. But hey, look, just for your loyal viewers, mate, if they're watching it, they made it this far into the pod. If you want to do some sort of giveaway, man, just we'll do a UFC giveaway. How about we give away a box of UFC and a box of like an instant hit or something, NBA mystery pack. So you can work out how you want to run it. But if you want to get some people commenting on the chat and that and whatever, then you can do some sort of random giveaway, mate, to the loyal viewers or listeners.
Definitely can do that. We actually really do appreciate that, mate. We'll whip up something.
You're not allowed
No. Never.
No, we'll definitely give it away. Hey, come on.
We'll give it away. No.
You can ask our friend Tyson. He's given us many things.
Yeah, Tyson Beck's given us cards before.
I don't know about you soccer blokes, man. I don't
know. he's trying to pay the ethnic card here, mate. He's saying that's wrong, right? That's what he's saying. That's
No, hilarious, man.
But definitely,
he knows we're from Sicily, mate. He knows we're from Sicily.
Yeah,
there we go.
Don't lump me in that, mate. You got a Calabrian and a Sicilian here, mate. So you're in a bit of trouble.
Geez, so we got the Calabrian mafia and the fiery Sicilian, eh? Jeez.
So a bit of strife. But thanks, mate. We do appreciate it. I'll whip up a bit of a graphic and work out some stuff on the giveaway, and obviously get them to follow you, and we'll
give us a follow, guys. Yeah, that's a good
idea. We'll direct we'll direct our traffic to you, and vice versa, and hopefully, we get a fair few comments on there, and there'll be people that comment
on this video, Doma. That's what we're going to get them to do on YouTube. They're going to go comment on this video.
Saucy, you do the terms and conditions, then, mate. I'll do the graphics, and you write it out, all right? And then I want you to jump on an IG live and give them a public service announcement.
I will.
That's what you have to do.
Okay.
Right? Because they're scared of you. You're the Sicilian, so that they should be scared of you more than me. That's for sure. Anyway, before we do finish up, I have a couple questions to ask you, just a couple more. Firstly, the mem balls behind you.
Yeah.
Who are some? Oh yeah, if you want it, you don't mind. Yeah, bloody hell.
Right, you're gonna like this one. This is my best one. So this is a dual autograph. Fanatics. You have a look at that one. You know who that is?
Oh, that's
Chef Curry.
That's the chef, and that's Clay.
Clay.
Splash
Brothers.
Yeah, beautiful dual auto there. I've got a little bit more. Hang on.
That's nice. Very nice.
Maybe you can give that one for the giveaway, Trent. Yep. We'll.
Probably have to sell that when my kids go to college or something, mate. To pay tuition. So But you got a Giannis there. I love the Fanatics balls. I've got up there. I've got the Panini tray. I've got the Luca. Embarrassingly, I've still got a Ben Simmons signed ball up there as well. And then I've got a Josh Giddey that my kids got signed. But on the walls, I've got a couple of bits of mem. I've got the Zion Fanatics rookie jersey, signed jersey, and a Scottie Pippen signed jersey as well. So and shout out to my good mate Kevin, Kev O Knows. I've got a whole wall of artwork of sick pictures and that he's hand painted. I've got one original Luca 1/1 painting. I've got the actual original that he's painted on the wall. I'll take that down. You guys have to see this. It's so cool.
Mint.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist, Kevin. Lovely bloke. He paints everywhere. Paints murals all over Melbourne. But you love this one.
Oh, so that's
that's Luca. It actually lights up as well. It's like a 3D painting. Yep. Lights up, but just fantastic, man. He's unbelievable. If you don't follow Kev, go and follow him.
So what was his handle again? So Kev
knows OH_NOES. Yeah, he's a fantastic artist, man. He's my whole wall here is covered in his stuff. So, but yeah, unbelievable Melbourne guy. You know, he paints a lot of murals around basketball courts. He's painted in Rebel. He's painted in Foot Locker. All the cool graphics in there. He's a lovely guy, man, and he
talented.
He's got a fantastic Kobe collection as well. I'm probably one of the best in Melbourne too. So he might be someone you get on the pod as well for have a chat about his cards and his art.
Not a bad show. I'll take that referral.
Very nice.
Last two. Advice to anyone that is buying in the hobby at the moment.
Advice to anyone. Okay, so what I've learned is that prospecting is a rough game. Okay, so look, you just be very careful. You're not always going to hit, and the top dogs aren't always going to pay off either. So Zion, a lot of people invested hard in Zion, and he's only had 39% match availability. I heard today of all games he should have played. Jar's now walking around toting guns online and acting all hood for no particular reason at all. You've just got to invest smart. If you're going to buy, you got to look in a couple of directions. That's Curry, LeBron, Luca. Look for affordable lines. I mean, if you really want to invest in someone good now, make sure you go for. You got to spend a little bit more money. You got to get RPAs. So we've seen what's happened with Prism Color and the price that it's all dropped right down. It was very, very hot a couple of years ago. It was selling for a fortune, but now you'll see that's really declining, and what's really taking off is the RPAs, players' RPAs. That's really what
I try to stick to that, or even numbered on card autos of numbered stuff might be out of like good sets like optic on card stuff that
has to be on card. Yeah,
or
if you can.
1/1, Panini 1/1 or Impeccable or something like
exactly.
that. If you can't afford like the higher end flawless and that sort of thing, then maybe you can pick up Noir or something like that.
Exactly, yeah, exactly right.
It has to be on card.
Impeccable 21, 22, beautiful design. Their RPAs are cheap as chips. Josh Giddey, you can get them for like $300, $350. The Asia version of 88, they have sick patches in them. They aren't game worn, but the patches are fantastic in the Asia variant. Immaculate even. It's a little bit more than Impeccable, but beautiful, beautiful RPAs. Noir have beautiful RPAs. If National Treasures even, I mean, look, depending how much you're going to spend, I have seen Josh Giddey's National Treasures go for as little as $3,000. Some of his actual true RPAs, not the not like the RJAs. Like the true verticals, you can get them at a decent rate, for a couple of grand. So, but look, there are levels to the game. You just get what you like, collect who you like, but at the same time, your prospects aren't always going to pay off, man. Just you've sort of spread your buying out a little bit over a couple of good rookies. Don't invest it all into one. I mean, there's some dudes, that have invested heavily into Michael Porter Jr. He skyrocketed, and now he's plummeted. He's gone again. So, like any wise investor would say, you got to spread the risk. Go for an index fund or something as opposed to just all your eggs in one basket. But look, I think Josh Giddey's a good bet. He's a very good bet. Fantastic core vision. Shea's there. He's the man. He's taking all the shots. But Josh Giddey's still putting up very impressive numbers for being the Robin, I guess, as a Grayson term. Don't invest in Robin, always invest in Batman. He used to say, but for a Robin, Josh Giddey is he's putting up good numbers, man. So
definitely very nice. And the last one. Your Grail card, whether you have it or you don't. What is it?
I'll show you. I've got a couple of good ones here. I don't have my Lucas here, but I'll just show you. I'll show you my favorite cards. So I'll start off with the Kobe. So this Kobe is just a beautiful card. I had to get it. It's sorry, I've got to get that light off there. There we go. So Cornerstones.
Oh, what a product,
game one. 2 of 25 on card, like full auto, just beautiful. I don't think I'd ever be able to play with that card. So I love Cornerstones. They're probably my favorite cards. Is actually, I think it's the version to 5 or 10. It has like a green border. It's fantastic. Got Tatum in the same card, RPA of 75.
So nice.
I bought a lot of Josh Giddey. I sold quite a lot of my collection. I've got a few nice Luka, like graded Luka Prisms, rookie autos. I've got a purple Prism Luka, Purple Ice, to 149. There's my Josh Giddey RPA, National Treasures, 49. Not the best patch, but still at least got a couple of colors in it. Would have preferred some of the orange, the orange juice. It looks really sick in some of those patches. Got a couple of cool Star Wars cards here as well. Let's have a look. This is sort of the Rosario Dawson rookie card out of Star Wars Stellar Signatures. So a lot of people don't know this, but Star Wars Topps released like a high end like briefcase of cards called Stellar Signatures. It's like $15K US or something for this case. It comes with like 45 autos. They're all different numbered autos. You get 1-1s and 5s and 10s and all kinds of it. But yeah, Rosario Dawson, just for a lot of people that don't know, she's come on board to the Star Wars franchise as Ahsoka Tano, who is a massive, been around in the Clone Wars and Rebels and that in the cartoon series for years. She's finally got like a human character, or she's got her own series coming out very soon as well. So I loved watching it, the Clone Wars character. I love the character. So I thought, I'll jump on this. It's a chance to get, like her first auto, her first, sort of cards. I got a few of her Topps Chrome refractors as well. So I chucked on them because, they're like, it's like the first auto or the rookie auto or whatever.
Yeah.
I jumped in. That's quite an expensive card, man. I think that cost me about $1,200. I've got quite a few nice, just Josh Giddey, like the Impeccables and that you were talking about, the RPAs, 1-1. They've got sick cards this year. They've got the Shadow Box. You got to get a Shadow Box auto of that on card. They're just 3D acetate. They're sick. What else? Got the Noir. Got the Noir Giddey RPA. Another 1-1 RPA. These aren't the low printed one. These are the Asian one I was talking about. They've all got sick patches in them. Noir, gold ink. These don't get that much love, these cards, but they're so cool. They're such a sick rookie card. But I think that's about it, man, for the good ones. The
Giddied up
because they're locked away. So giddy up, all right, yeah.
Very nice. Well,
Beautiful,
perfect. That's awesome, mate. Really do appreciate you giving us some insight into that. That's it, mate. We appreciate your time. We've just clocked over an hour, but before we do finish up, though, where can we find you? I'll bring your website up.
Yep.
Over here.
So primarily, guys, we operate off Instagram, but we apologise about the hyphen in the in the actual website. So it is card-lab.com.au, which is painful because if you most people are going to type Cardlab and go to a business card site. But look, Instagram is where we operate, guys. That's where we started. Got a beautiful page there. Fantastic graphics. We like to keep stuff fresh, keep the boxes, keep the packs fresh. If you want a quick response from us, the best place to go is Instagram. We've got a Facebook group you can join as well. Cardlab, look us up. We're going to start the giveaways again soon.
Probably in the link tree there.
Yeah, go to Linktree. Click on Linktree. You can go straight into
there it is.
Straight into the singles, Cardlab products, the Cardlab community, the breakers who are pumping out our stuff, our eBay. Yeah, the whole shebang, mate, on the Linktree. So
beautiful, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
That's
we'll link it all. We'll link it all in the description for this video as well. Obviously, when we drop this in our tile, we'll drop the handle
tag you
we'll tag you. Sorry, that's the thing, man. I'm bloody half asleep here. We'll tag you. Don't worry. We'll tag your Instagram page, and we'll get some more people to jump on board. But on behalf of myself and Saucy, we really do appreciate your time, Trent, and thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, mate.
Too easy, boys. Yeah, really, really good seeing you on the weekend, and it's my pleasure. I'm happy to talk to you guys anytime. The only thing I will say before I go is that I've told Sauce this when I saw him, but I am extremely disappointed that we are not sitting around a table together, drinking and smoking like the Joe Rogan podcast, and talking shit and carrying on, because that is what I thought I signed up for.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to make
it.
I'm going to state it right now, Trent. All right. If you know anyone or you wish to sponsor this podcast and we have enough funds to get a room that we can possibly do that, by all means, let's lock it in. I would love to do that.
When you boys are free in the next week or two, I want you to come past Collingwood, my office, check it out. Tell me if we can do a setup there, and we'll get it going, because I've seen the success of Joe, and I think if we're in the room, the atmosphere is going to be fantastic. We can have a good laugh, have a couple of drinks, get the big cigars out, man. I've got a couple of nice Cubans stashed away, they're just itching.
A couple of stogies.
Big stogies, mate. So we can get stuck into it, boys, and just do a big JRE style potty, and probably get a bit drunk and talk a bit of shit about PSA and start another war.
We don't want
I like it.
We don't
like
want
it.
that,
Thanks for the offer, mate.
We don't want a war with PSA because we've already had one.
Yeah, no more wars. We're just peace and love now. That's what we are. We've gone 70s style hippie over here.
We'll get Dan the card man on, because he loves going to war with everyone, and we'll just
don't worry about Trent. Don't worry about Dan the card man.
Drinks in Dan. And we'll just get him going. We'll just get him fired up and let him just let loose, man, on the live. So.
Don't worry. That could be a little hint into what's coming up as well for us on a special pod very soon.
There you go.
So,
in the works.
The great man himself. But on behalf of us, thank you once again, and I'll sign it out with a keep living, loving, and breathing sports. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce and the great man Trent.
Thanks, boys. Hey, free Andrew Tate just before I go. Free Andrew Tate.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.